Hello friends, I was really in double minds whether I should be doing this video or not. But yesterday when I saw a very unfortunate news where a senior executive from a reputed IT firm committed suicide because he could not handle toxic treatments given by his seniors. Working in toxic conditions poses challenges at the emotional and psychological levels. It dents our confidence and slowly kills our motivation to take any initiative, thus hampers our productivity as well as ownership. Forget performing, even showing up daily at the workplace itself becomes a huge challenge while dealing with toxic places. Today I want to share my thoughts on how to take ownership of our performance while dealing with toxic conditions. Well, delivering a stable and better performance while dealing with toxic pressures needs a three-pronged approach. First, we need to protect our mindset. Second, we need to focus on execution. And third, we need to develop our capabilities. Let's look at these three factors individually. First, protect our mindset. Irrespective of the environment that we work in, it is important that we maintain a positive mindset or a mindset to take ownership, mindset to perform. And this has got three aspects. First, we should never assume wrongly or conclude wrongly about the toxic environment. Sometimes a task manager or a leader demanding high standards of performance is not necessarily a toxic person. Some people mistake accountability for toxicity. Therefore, we should never assume wrongly about the toxic places and we should protect our mindset from the negative assumptions. The second important aspect about protecting our mindset is do not allow imaginary fears to capture our mind. Many people suffer twice in their life. First, in their mind from the imaginary fears of worst outcomes, and second, in reality. Therefore, we should never spend time and energy thinking about the worst outcomes which are not yet happened. Many people avoid interactions with others for the fear or for the imaginary fears of worst outcomes. Therefore, we should always live in the present and we should not allow imaginary fears to capture our mindset. The third important aspect of protecting our mindset is we need to learn to treat every day as a new beginning, every interaction as a new beginning. We should not allow the past experiences or the bad experiences to influence our today. Remember, our professionalism, openness and positivity creates more positive vibes in the environment. Now the second aspect of taking control of our performance while dealing with the toxic conditions is focus on execution. Focus on execution has got three components. The first is demonstrate professional credibility. Demonstrating professional credibility means ensuring that the jobs that we do are complete in nature. They adhere to high quality standards, we respect the deadlines and we meet the commitments that we make. Please remember, professional credibility is one of the strongest protections that we can have irrespective of the environment that we work in. The second aspect of execution is overcommunication. Communication is important in healthy places, but remember, overcommunication is important or must in toxic places. Overcommunication helps in three ways. First, it provides clarifications. Second, it provides the agreements required. And third, it provides the updates. Therefore, over-communication safeguards us against any ambiguity and protects us from any misunderstandings. The third aspect of execution is maintaining documentation. We need to maintain proper documentation related to all important discussions, all important approvals and all important agreements. Please remember, it's not about the mistrust, but it is about the professionalism. In case of any future confusion or doubt, documentation always comes handy and helps us. Now the third aspect of delivering a better performance in toxic conditions is developing our capability. Developing capability has two components. First, we need to identify our strengths, we need to sharpen our strengths. Irrespective of the type of the environment that we work in, developing our professional expertise, functional expertise is the key. We should never miss the focus on identifying our strengths and developing our strengths. The second and probably one of the most important aspects of developing our capability is, rather than considering ourselves as unlucky and unfortunate, we need to ask one question to ourselves, and that is, what is that I am learning from this experience? Probably we are learning courage, probably we are learning resilience, probably we are getting clarity about our own values, about our own purpose. Please remember that every difficult situation reveals something very important about our own character and mindset. Therefore, we should never miss the opportunity to develop our mindset and character. Well friends, apart from these three factors, I want to highlight one more important aspect of dealing with any environment, and that is, we may not be able to choose the environment that we work in, but we always can choose the way we respond to the environment. And responding to the environment has got four components. First is that we always need to take control of our own identity. We should never allow external situations, external conditions to define our strengths and our identity. We need to take control of our identity. We need to keep sharpening our focus on our strengths and develop the expertise. Second important aspect of response, irrespective of the environment that we work, is learning to take feedbacks positively. We should always focus on the content of the feedback. We should never focus on how the feedback is given. We should process the feedback logically and not emotionally. And when we receive adverse feedback, we need to respond logically and not emotionally. We need to choose our words very carefully. The third important aspect of responding to any situation is maintaining our mental energy. Whenever we are interacting with people, we should be always watchful of our energy levels, especially the mental energy level. Whenever we see that our mental energy is depleting, we should restore it back with the breathing exercises. And finally, the lack of decision, the lack of clarity and overcautiousness can kill our ownership. Therefore, we should be always watchful whether are we compromising on our performance because of these three factors. We should always expedite and take clarity as much as possible and take ownership of our performance. Well friends, what is the takeaway from this discussion? Well, my takeaway is, for delivering stable and better performance while dealing with toxic places requires a three-pronged approach. First, we need to protect our mindset. Second, we need to focus on execution. And third, we need to keep developing our capabilities. And fourth important factor is that irrespective of the environment that we work, we need to choose the way we respond to the situations. Remember, every difficult situation comes with a purpose and a reward associated with it. Who knows, the experience that we are dealing with is essential for our own professional growth and maturity. Therefore, do not get discouraged and keep performing well. Hello friends, my name is Rajendra. I am a business performance ownership expert with over 25 years of experience driving profitable business growth and market expansions across geographies and industries. I help organizations, business owners and individuals deliver stronger business performance through performance ownership. My methodology, self-propelled superior performance, provides comprehensive orientation to performance ownership behavior and mindset. If you are interested to know how performance ownership behavior can be developed deliberately and not left to chance, stay tuned to my channel, Program to Perform, that is, program your mindset for superior performance and keep performing well. Thank you for watching. Wish you a great luck.